Well, thank you to our fans. I thought it was a great crowd, great spirit. I know it's been a long season of some great moments, some bad moments, a lot of obstacles thrown in front of them, but very, very appreciative. Anytime we can play in front of our great fans in the pit, it's great. We, in the first half, weren't hitting shots, and I thought they were good looks, and we got frustrated. And we regrouped, and in the second half, we understood we have them in foul trouble. We have to win this at the foul line. So it was a great win. I thought our discipline in the second half was terrific. And it sounds boring, but making free throws were huge. Mash made some big ones, and House made some big ones. And Jay had obviously a big tip dunk at the end of the game. So doubled our win total from last year. We're excited about that. We're excited about getting the win in conference, sweeping an opponent. And now we just keep it moving forward.
I know you talked about the missing of the shots in the first half, but again, you knew it wasn't going to be exactly like the first time you played them, but 0 points from House probably had some people on the edge a little bit. If he wasn't going to come back, you said the other day, you need him to come back. And then he had 16 in the second half. Anything you tell him at halftime? We
got on him. I mean, I thought House and Jay were very frustrated with their offense. And they, it's okay to be hard on yourself, but you have to find a way to mentally move on and just find a way to help the team win. House bounced back in a big way, got to the rim, made free throws. But I've said it a million times, going to be very hard for us to win if House doesn't play well. And, it's just kind of where the roster is at right now. But to his credit, made a big three, and it's underrated, but and I'm going to jinx him, but he's been on a roll free throw shooting wise. That's been impressive to see.
When you think about the game that Jamal Mashburn had and the ones that he's had before this, really all season long, how clutch is it to kind of have a player like that who can put up 24 in a game like this when, maybe other players aren't delivering that much and then hitting those free throws at the end?
Yeah, I mean, those two guys, we've seen so many games be lost just by a missed free throw and all of a sudden a three. And to be, and that's where experience comes in. To Mash's credit, he has been a little bit off from the foul line as of late. And he's one of the more mentally tough, disciplined kids out there. And he has a belief in himself because he works hard. So those free throws were huge. We have a really good 1-2 punch when they're good. We just got to work on them being as consistent as possible and then continue to develop the roster.
Coach, talking about the importance of House, certainly in the second half, guys were engaged, the ball was moving, and certainly so when he's scoring, it helps you guys. But once that forward momentum gets going, how much does that help the rest of the team as well? Yeah, we talked a lot about you guys got to fuel each other, and it's hard. I mean, we're not a winning program yet. We're still all trying to figure out our spot on the team. We're trying to figure out where we belong. So many new guys. We haven't won in a while just in this program. And as we continue to build it, and when you walk into the arena and you're about winning, so many great things can happen. It's not that I don't think they're selfish and I don't think they want to win. It's just we all get trapped in our own little world. With House, when he's rolling, it's hard to stop him. Even that left-handed layup he missed, it was a great move, and he was going. So we need him to be confident. We need him to attack. We need him to be intelligent, because as we've seen it at times, when those two guys are good, it's fun to watch.
Jay had a career-high 12 rebounds. If he can keep doing that, how big could that be for you guys throughout the rest of it?
Yeah, and I was hard on him. I was frustrated with him in the first half, very frustrated with him. I didn't love the body language. I didn't love the effort. And I was, quite frankly, ready to not play him in the second half. And we had a good talk. He owned it, and which is very, very important. And he brought great energy in the second half. I said, I'm going to give you one more chance. But if I see that walking around, we're not dealing with that here. And to his credit, he responded great. And he made some big plays, some big shot blocks, some big rebounds. He's a very talented kid. He just has to continue to grow and mature.
This late in the season, are you still figuring out how to talk to these guys when you can see the frustration, how to get through to them?
Yeah, well, it could take years. You know, I mean, it's the reality of it. That's why you don't go from 6 wins to 25 wins. You don't flip this thing as fast as any of us want it to be. You have to stay the course. You have a decision to make as a coach. Do I get a million transfers and do this over and over and over and over again? I don't think that's what our program needs right now. Do I think that we can take some valuable transfers? Absolutely. Mash and House are valuable transfers. But the bottom line is we have to build a foundation first, that guys understand how to compete at the highest level, understand that the games are not going to go the way they want them to go, and that's okay, and just keep next play mentality. So, yeah, I mean, we coach a lot of things in year 1 that I was not coaching in year 8 at Minnesota. Reality building a program.
Rich, granted Air Force is young and they're struggling this season, but the offense they run can really make teams look bad. And coming off the Utah State game where they were able to move the ball so well and get so many open shots, you have to be really pleased with the way you guys were able to lock them down defensively.
Yeah, I mean, they're hard to guard for sure. You know, we turned them over 13 times, which is rare. They're deliberate. They play a lot of teams like this. I thought the first game we played them, I was stunned at the way that it went, the type of game it was. This is more what you're going to get when you're playing an Air Force team. They're young. We are also very, very young. We're 2 of the most inexperienced teams in the conference. I think San Jose might be 3rd, and look at where we sit in the conference. It's just the reality of it. But anytime we can go get a win in conference, I'm proud of our guys. They understood that Air Force was in the double bonus. They stopped shooting threes. That's a little thing, but that's playing the game the right way.
And just the learning experience from playing that type of team compared to the normal.
And we'll learn from it even more because you have to change your defensive principles when you play Air Force. Something that you do versus Fresno, you're not going to do versus Air Force. Air Force is a totally different prep than Utah State and so on. So, you know, as we learn from it, get older from, okay, yeah, we're not helping on that because we're playing Air Force, but we are going to help on that when we play Fresno. So it's a great learning experience. The more you play them, it's because it's very unique.
Coach, earlier this week, you just basically said your team is just mentally and physically exhausted. The game again, in 2 days. Kind of what's the plan for that in terms of rest and practice? And
yeah, I mean, we got a flight tomorrow out to Fresno, so we will give them some rest, watch a lot of film, and see if, I think more not even the physical part of it. We just looked mentally toast. That was 2 games on the road versus 1. So hopefully we get rejuvenated this time of year because this time of year can be great and it can be really hard. When you're not in the hunt for that NCAA tournament berth, it can be challenging with young guys, but you got to keep it in perspective. It's a great opportunity to play the game that you love with your friends. As we all know, college is the best time of your life, so enjoy it. But get some rest today and see how we can respond on Monday.
So you've kind of touched on the shooting in the first half, a lot of jump shots that were open looks but not making them. But I want to kind of revisit the first 3 minutes of the second half. You guys score all 10 of your points by either getting fouled or hitting buckets at the rim. And KJ drew 2 of those fouls. Mashburn drew 3 of those fouls. So I imagine, though, at halftime, were they told not to shoot a 3?
No. House hit a big 3, right, in the second half. You have to have a maturity to – obviously, we don't have a great low-post threat. I think Sebastian's getting better. I think Jay's even getting a little bit better down there. But we're a guard-heavy team right now. But you have to be able to move them and then drive them. And so it was certainly an emphasis to, guys, shots not falling. It's okay. There's other ways to score, whether getting to the rim, whether getting to the foul line. And I think they, as they were getting more and more foul trouble, our guys understood that. But it was certainly a point of emphasis at halftime.
I was going to say, you can't really do that the exact same way at Fresno with a shot blocker like Orlando Robinson, but I imagine attacking the rim is what you guys generally want to do anyway against anybody.
We've had moments like in the beginning of the year, we're one of the best teams in the country getting the foul line. I think we learned a lot. Utah State, an older group, the way they move the ball, similar offensive stuff to what we're doing, but we got it kind of reversed. And instead of House holding it, he threw it down to the corner. KJ drove. So multiple passes within the flow of the offense. But yeah, I mean Fresno's big, different than this team, hard to score on. We had our chances at our place. We didn't make shots, crucial shots, but we cut it close. So yeah, I mean, but we have to do a better job of not being such a jump shot happy team.
Obviously, the way Air Force played, they'll limit your assists, but you guys had more turnovers than assists. And I know you've been talking about the importance of passing the ball and moving the ball. So how do you address that in the last couple games?
I don't think Air Force, the way that they play, I think you have to take them off the bounce. We did it the first game, and I just think it is what it is with the matchup zone. You got to move them, then you got to drive them. So this game, I didn't see a lack of ball movement, but when you get 25 points from the foul line, you're not going to get assists on those. So the number is probably not a great indicator of how we were offensively. I thought we were plenty good enough offensively.